This is standard form and the real number system in mathematics. Let's have a look at what it is. Right? When you say a standard form, let me use an assumption from my opinion, right, to explain this. So what I mean by that is that assuming you are having a company, right? You are the owner of the company, or it can be a shop, or it can be anything, right? Just assume that you are the owner, and the name of that shop or the company is what a standard form. Of course, every company has what a rule, right? They have a law that governs the company. So let's look at those laws. Now, the first law is that assuming you want to employ people, okay, you want to employ people, people are applying for a job in your company or maybe your store, whatever it is. So now this is the condition. You say that for you to qualify to be a member of the company, which is in this case is what a standard form. Then the first thing is that you have your age. Is that okay? So what I mean, the first number here is what I'm referring to be your age. So the first thing is that you have to make sure that your age is between 1 to 9 years. Is that okay? So from 1 to 9, right? That is the first condition. You must qualify this in this category. Is that okay? You have to be at least a year or to up to 9 years. Is that okay? So that is what I mean by that is that before this point, right? Before this point over. So assuming this is the security personnel, right? Assuming the point here is what a security personnel. Is that okay? So before this point, you have to make sure that the number here has to be between what 1 to 9. Is that okay? That is the first condition. We don't care about whatever follows after a point. We are not interested in that. That is the first part. So if you are qualified for the first part, then let's check. The second one is that as a company, we have a standby. Right? What I mean by a standby is that it can be a gift, it can be anything. Is that okay? You have a standby which is 10. It can be anything, it can be a product, it can be a money, it can be anything. So this is our standby. So as the owner of your company, you have a standby for what your employees, right? And then here the number on the top of that standby is what a gift that you give to your employee at the end of what every year. Is that okay? So this is how you have to look like before you can be accepted in what in the company. So that is the law of what your company. Is that okay? Just make sure that the number before the point here is between 1 and 9. That is 1 a year and up to 9 years. Anything apart from that is not accepted. Is that okay? And then the 10 here is just a standby, right? Let's say you have a standby over here. That is for the company. Company is providing that for its employees. And then there's a gift at the end of the year, which is at the top of this thing. Okay, that is how the rule of the company goes by. So you just need to obey that before you can qualify to be a member of the company. All right, so let's check. So in general, this is how the standard form so looks like. You have to have a number here, a number, right? A number here, and then multiply by 10 raised to the power n. So this number here, let me call this number a. Is that okay? Let me call this one a. The number here, that is your age. Remember, I said that the age is before the point. Is that okay? So this number here has to be between 1 year to what, 9, right? A year to 9 years. Is that okay? So the focus here is this n. Where is the n coming from? So n in our case is the gift that we are giving to you as what an employee at the end of the year. Is that okay? So how do you determine that? So this n here can be either be a negative or what, a positive, right? So I'll explain this in just a few minutes. Is that okay? So the focus here is how to determine this n here and then the number here. So in our case, we don't ignore anybody. Is that okay? So whatever you bring, you make sure that you convert that to something that looks like a member of the company already. So I'll demonstrate that by solving a pure past question, and then let's see how best we can do it. But before that, assuming I have 31 5 times 10 raised to the power. The question is this thing a standard form? Is that okay? Is this thing a standard form? That is the question. Maybe you may pause the video and comment down below and come back and come and check the answer. Alright, so let's check. this is not a standard form. Why this is not a standard form? Because according to the law of our company, we say that for you to be part of the company, the number here has to be between what 1 to what 9 years. Look at what you brought 315. You are out of the system. So we need to do something on this thing to look like the number here has to be between what 1 and what up to 9, right? So how do you do that? So let me check that in the few minutes. So what about this? 0.012, right? 0.0. Is this thing in a standard form, right? Is this thing in standard form? This is not in a standard form. Why? Because we say that the number before the point, this security guy here, the number here has to be between what 1 and 9. So look at what you brought 0. So 0 is not part of the law of the company. Therefore, this is not in the standard form. This is also not in the standard form. By the way, we don't ignore anybody, right? We don't ignore anybody. The case is that you must manipulate to convert it so that you can be a member of what our company. So let's check on how to do that quickly. So I will do that by using a pure past question. So let's check the past question. So we are going to convert what this is on 98,000, right? 980000. So they say you should convert this thing to what in a standard form, right? So here's the question. Let's check the question first. So here we go. So they say you should express that, right? Can you see? Express 9800 in what? In a standard form. So the book here is by what? Mr. Ishmael Adams. So credit to Mr. Ishmael Adams for that. So we are having 9800. They say you should express that what in a standard form. By now, I believe you know what a standard form is, right? So this is what you are having. How can you convert this into what a standard form? You know already that the company has a standby which is called 10. This is a standby of the company. Now you need to determine the number here, right? How do you determine that? So look at where the point is. The point is here. Is that okay? The point is not here. The point is here at the end. Is that okay? If you have a whole number, the point is here. So you just need to move backwards, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. The reason why we are going here is that we know that the number before the point has to be between 1 and what 9. Is that okay? That is why we are going backwards, right? 98,000 is beyond 1. Far beyond 1 and 9. So you need to come back and convert this one to what something that looks like between 1 and 9. So here we are having what 9.8, right? 9.8, and then we know that this 10 here is just a standby from the company. Now how do you determine the number at the top here? Pay attention here. How do you determine the number at the top here? It means that when you are here, if what the person brought, this is what the guy brought as an employee, right? This is what the guy brought. The guy brought a number. If the guy brought a number that is more than 1, right? That is more than 1. Then it means that that person has a gift to be what a positive. Is that okay? If the guy brought a number or an age in this case, which is what more than 1, which is not 0. Let me put it like that, which is not 0. Then it means that that guy at the end of the year will have a gift that is what a positive. It can never have a negative number, right? And then the vice versa will be a negative. So you check that by solving another example. Is that okay? So the number here is what is more than 1, right? It is not 0. Is that okay? The number is more than 1. So therefore we know that the at the end of the year, the guy you have a gift here. The number, what I mean by the gift, the number on top of this 10 will be what a positive. Is that okay? So once you move backwards, 1, 2, 3, 4. You move how many times? 4 times. So here will be what 4, right? So this side will be 4. Very simple. If someone brought a number that is not 0 point something, right? Then by that thing is a number. It's a number that goes beyond 1. Then we know that for sure that person's what gift here has to be what a positive. Is that okay? So let's check the second one. Now here is the second example. This is 0.0098. They say you should express this thing in what standard form. How do you do that? Now you know a standard form that the first number which is your age has to be between 1 to 9. Is that okay? Then we know that the company has a standby to be 10, right? Now look at what is happening. The guy brought 0 point something something, and then it means that your gift at the end of the year will be what? A negative, right? Since you brought 0 point something, you are not up to 1, right? So unlike this one, we have something like 98,000. This is far beyond 1, right? So if you are less than 1, then it means that less than a year, let's put it that way, less than a year, it means that your gift at the end of the year will be what? A negative, right? How do you determine the number of gifts that a person will get? By counting the point. Because the reason why we are counting here is that there are two things. We want 1 here, the age year to be between 1 to 9, and then 2 to determine the gift that we get at the end of the year. Is that okay? So now let's move. You are moving here, right? You can't go backwards. If you go backwards, then you are still doing the same thing. You're going to get 0.000. So you are going to look at where exactly you can get your that 1 up to 9. So there's a 9 here, so let's chase that 9. So we are moving here, 1 2 and then 3, right? 1 2 and then 3. Is that okay? So the point will come here. That will give me a 9.8. What is happening? 9.8. Have you seen? If you don't move to the next step, then you are going to get 98, which is wrong. We know that the age here before the point has to be between 1 and 9. That is exactly what we are having. We are having 9, so you are qualified, right? We don't care about what follows after, right? This is just the law of your company, right? You just have to obey that law before you can be employed. So how do you determine here? So of course here will be what? Negative what? 1 2 3. Here will give me what? Negative 3. Is that okay? That is very simple. So this is how you convert, and then you write what? A standard form of any number being given to you, right? So very simple. Now let's check out the addition and subtractions of in a standard form. But before that, assuming they give you something like this, they want you to rewrite it in a whole number, right? This is what I mean by the whole number. A whole number is the number that has no point within. So how do you go back? Assuming you are having this, we don't know this. How do you go back? You see, when you get this thing, in 9.8 multiplied by 10 exponent 4, when you get this thing straightforward. What I said earlier on is that the exponent of the 10 here tells me that the person didn't come with what? A 0 point something something, right? The person came with something that goes beyond what? 1. Is that okay? Then for sure you have to know that this guy, you go forward, right? Because the person didn't come with what? A negative number, so this guy will go forward, right? This guy will go for how many times depending on the number of the gifts here. So 1 2 3 4, then you just fill the space with 0 0. That one gives me 900, right? The same applies to the process here. Is that okay? The same applies to the process. Look at what is happening. You want to rewrite this into the number the person brought, right? So what the employee brought at the beginning of the year was we want to rewrite this thing. So you just need to determine the number and the gift that the person gets at the end of the year, and then whether you are moving forward or you are going backwards, right? So this thing tells me that the person came to a 0 point something because of the negative here, right? So this guy will go backwards how many times? 3 times. Okay, that is how you convert this type of problems. So now let's get to the addition and subtraction. So how do you do the addition and subtractions in what? A standard form. So now once you have been employed at a company, maybe you want to combine 2 employees in your or 2 of your workers in your company, right? By addition or subtraction. So how do you do that? Fine, there's a law here. The law says that for us to add you or subtract the 2 of you, right? This is just one person, this is also another person. For us to add, you have to make sure that the gifts that both of you get at the end of the year are the same, right? Before we can add you or subtract you, we have to make sure that the gift, what I mean by the gift here, the exponent of the 10 must be the same. If they are not the same, there's no way you can add or subtract them, unless otherwise you convert it. That is why you need to subscribe to the channel now, so that whereby we solve the past questions for you to see exactly how to do that. But in this case, let's limit ourselves to this. Then you have to make sure that the exponent, right, the gift of those 2 guys or more people that you want to add them by subtraction and what? Addition only, right? You have to make sure that their exponents are the same. In this case, their gifts are the same. If they are not the same, you can never add them. That is very simple. Now let's see, after you check that, how do you add? let's see, how do you add? You just add this guy and that guy, and then you repeat one of them. So let's check that. This is how you add. So you're having 2.4 multiplied by 10 exponent 3, and then 3.2 multiplied by 10 exponent 3. How do you do that? You add the left hand side before the multiplication sign. That is 2.4 plus what? 3.2, right? So this plus this will give me 6, right? And then this one plus that one will also give me 6. And then you repeat one of them, right? The reason why we say that this guy has to be equal, obviously we are just repeating one of them. If they are not equal, what are you going to repeat it, right? If the exponent, their gifts are not equal, what are you going to repeat? That is why they say you have to make sure that their exponents are what? The same before you can add or subtract them. If you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then like and comment down below if you have any issue. Okay, we are ready to help you wherever you are. So thanks for watching.